One of the most common questions that we get is which accounting software should I choose? QuickBooks Online, MYOB, or Xero? Fortunately, we don't have a straight shot answer. At Polished Business, we're actually partners with all three of those because we are big advocates of using the accounting software that works best for you. We will not push one accounting software on you. It's what's going to work best for your specific business, as well as just how your mind maybe processes things a little bit differently, or what you like to see, what kind of data that you need to see. Everyone's different. So we take pride in knowing everything about the three major accounting softwares so we can assist you in the way that's going to be best. With QuickBooks, we will say just how it is that QuickBooks will probably always be the cheapest in price just because of how the accounting softwares first came out. MYOB came out years upon years ago, and then Xero, and then QuickBooks. So QuickBooks had to kind of fight into the industry a little bit. So currently they are cheaper than the other ones, and more than likely they'll stay that way just to stay in the game. Now, also with QuickBooks, we do really like the advanced search option, which is quite handy. There's a little search hourglass in the top right corner of your QuickBooks screen, and you can type in dollar figures as well as partial words and phrasings, and generally find a transaction that you're looking for pretty simply. It's a nice one. With Xero, it is a little easier to use in general. We like to call it a very user-friendly software, and that's been the primary feedback that we've gotten from most of our customers. It also seems to have the least amount of bank feed issues. When you have an accounting software, you have the option to connect to your bank account, which just means that the bank account will send transaction information to your accounting software to avoid you having to type it in. It's very handy. But sometimes this connection can drop for a day, an hour, different amounts of time. And it's not the end of the world to fix or to get those transactions that might be missing. But generally, we see with Xero, this doesn't seem to happen very often. I would even say almost never happens. But I shy away from saying never say never, so it can happen, but super rare compared to some of the other options out there. Now, additionally, when you make changes in Xero, you can very clearly see right on that transaction, right on that invoice or that spend money or really any part of Xero, if somebody makes a change, you can see a little notation at the bottom of what those changes are. And you get to see who did that, like the user that was signed in that made the change, as well as what day and what time they did it. And you can see some information about what was changed. Super helpful, especially if you have multiple people inside the software doing different things. Something happens, you know exactly who to talk to ask about why something was done or what needs to be done to fix it again. The other accounting softwares generally have an option like this as well, but we just find in Xero, it's a little bit easier to navigate. With MYOB, it is quite expansive. There's a lot of different things you can do with MYOB. One of those things is with the profit and loss. If you want to track your profit and loss per job, you can do this in the other accounting softwares. However, with MYOB, we find that you can get really detailed, especially with things like payroll. Say you have an employee who works multiple jobs during the week and you want to record their hours per job on their payslip and then have those gross wages be included in your profit and loss quite specifically. This can be done a little bit easier than in the other accounting softwares, and you can do it within MYOB rather than having like an external software that has to be attached to it. MYOB is also, since it's been around for a longer time, it does connect with some very complex softwares more often than some of the other ones. For example, MYOB connects with Leap, so we do often see solicitors and people like that using MYOB because of that integration is pretty smooth.
Okay, another question that we commonly get is, how do I enter employee leave? So this will depend on your software that you're using, but for all the softwares, the background settings need to be set up correctly, including leave loading for annual leave. In QBO, on the pay run, you select actions, then add leave. You need to ensure that the employee has leave indicated on their profile. In MYOB, on the pay run, you need to make sure that the employee's card file is preset with the correct leave fields. And then finally, with Xero, before you do the pay run, you go to payroll and then leave and add the leave details, and it will automatically show up on your pay run.
How to enter a new vehicle that was purchased by the business. Entering the details into your software correctly can be a bit complicated. It's important to get this right, especially if you bought it from a dealership, because there will be a lot of GST. Although the purchase is usually will not have a full 10% GST. You do get to claim all the GST in here immediately, even if you rent a loan for the vehicle, which often makes a dramatic change to your BAS obligations. However, you need to do this correctly. It's best to reach out to us and we can either explain how to enter it or enter it for you, or send you a detailed screenshot with instructions to refer to this in the future.
In general, though, we do like to remind our customers that never hesitate to ask us questions. We can absolutely help. But we do hope that these little notes can help you avoid getting stuck. And remember, too, that these are so common. That's why we're talking about them. So if you've already done these errors, please don't feel panicked about it or anything negative. We're talking about it because we see it so often. Always remember, too, you can reach out to us, your accountant, Fair Work, or the ATO whenever you are not sure about something.